In the previous videos in this section, we built a tool from scratch and we supplied it to our agent for our agent to make use of. Now, this is very important and very powerful because it helps you to bring in customized behavior into your agents and also extend their capabilities to any length you can imagine. Besides creating tools from scratch, the Laravel AI SDK also has some built-in tools that you can use to do some very powerful stuff. Some very powerful stuff. These are tools that you don't need to create by yourself. You just import them, use them, and use their amazing capabilities. And the one that we're going to be looking at in this video is web search. Web search. So first, let us look at custom tools and provider tools. What are the differences? For a custom tool, you write the logic, which is your undo method, implement the class, write your undo method, give it the description, and give it a schema. But for provider tools, don't worry, just import the tool, the provider handles it. Also, your tools are executed by your application. It is your PHP application that are actually going to run the tool. But provider tools are run by the provider itself. This is Laravel wrapping around the capabilities of different providers. For example, OpenAI and Anthropic. Examples of tools you can write by yourself is a calculator, or you want to look up the status of a particular order in your database. So you can always do that by yourself, or anything, like I said, anything you can imagine. But provider tools, we have web search, which is used for searching the web, the one that we're going to be looking at in this video. We also have web fetch. This is when you want to actually fetch a web page and analyze it or get information from it, specific information. And we also have file search. Which is a RAG-based tool. So in this section, we're going to be looking at web search and web fetch. We're going to be looking at web search in this video, web fetch in the next video. File search is going to be left for the RAG section. Now, how do you use or create a custom tool? You use your artisan command, as we've done already, PHP artisan make tool. But for a provider tool, you simply just instantiate a new instance of it and add it to your tools array. Your scaffolded tools are imported from app AI tools because that's where they are stored when you scaffold them. Whereas you import your provider tools from Laravel AI providers tools. That's where they are stored, as we're going to be seeing very soon. Provider tools are awesome and powerful because the provider handles everything. Web search, you can search the web for different topics. You can read the results and feed the information back to your LLM. You don't have to write any single piece of code. I've talked about the available tools that we have in Laravel right now. As of the time of this recording, definitely I see more tools coming. But it's important we look at the ones that we have and how they are supported. Web search, which helps you search for real-time information across the web, is supported by OpenAI, Anthropic, and Gemini. So don't bring Mistral, don't bring Cohere. OpenAI, Anthropic, and Gemini. Now, web fetch is supported by Anthropic and Gemini. OpenAI does not support web fetch. What web fetch does is that it actually fetches an entire web page. It reads the content of a specific URL. So you just give it a URL and say, everything, based on everything on this page, give me the result. Unlike web search, whereby you just give it a topic and it will just go around the web and just search, probably give you like 5 results or 4 results, or you can even specify how many results you want. And as I said, file search, it's a RAG tool and it helps you search through your vector databases for files that you have embedded inside. And currently, it is only supported by OpenAI. It's only supported by OpenAI. I see more support coming for different or more providers and even more tools coming. So yeah, that's something to look out for. Why does web search matter? Similar to the custom tool that we created, where we said that LLMs have a cutoff date, and this is even more visible with a operation like web search, because if the cutoff date for your LLM, let's say Gemini 2.5 Flash, if the cutoff date is, let's say, November 2025, then you can't request for who won the last AFCON, that's the African Cup of Nations that Senegal won a couple of weeks ago. You cannot ask about that because that occurred in January. That was won by Senegal on the 18th of January. So you can't ask it that particular information because its cutoff date is November 2025. And you're asking for an information of something that happened in 2026 January. So especially sports news, things like stock, you can't ask for those kind of stuff, except you have a web search tool, except you have a tool that can search the web in real time, like right now. Web search helps you to solve this by searching the web the same way you search Google. And still note, it's only currently supported by OpenAI, Gemini, and Anthropic. So please note that. Now that we understand provider tools and what web search helps us to achieve, let us run a demo. And I know you will be very excited about this. First, let us create a new agent. It's going to be our web search agent. So I'll say PHP artisan make agent web researcher. Web researcher. Me make it Pascal case. So web researcher. Researcher is spelled correctly, right? Oh, good. So we create web researcher. Just pull the file explorer up, and yeah, we can see web researcher here. So that's good. Let's open it up. Close this. Now inside here, we're going to be bringing in our web search tool, the one that comes with the Laravel AI SDK. Like I said, they can be found in Laravel AI providers, tools, web search. Good. Web search. So we get that in, and that automatically gives us access to the tool. Next, we're going to give our agent some good instructions. First, let me remove conversational. As tools has to be there because we're definitely using a tool, but I'm going to remove this messages function. Then I'm going to bring in the prompt for this particular agent. We'll paste that here, and it says you are a research assistant with access to the web. When a user asks about current events, recent news, or any topic that requires up-to-date information, use web search to find accurate recent information. Always cite your sources when presenting information found through web search. Be concise and factual. Good enough. But to make our agent aware of our tool, we need to create a new instance of it in this array. So we'll say new web search. And that's all. You now have a powerful agent that can search the web in real time. That's everything you need to do. No undo method, no schema method, no descriptions. All done for you. With this in place, let us create a controller function to run this demo. Let me clear this. We'll say PHP artisan make controller. Then we'll say API chapter 3 search controller. So API chapter 3 search controller. Let's create a controller. Good. Close this and locate that controller. So we have search controller here, and the two things we're going to do here or bring in here is first our agent. So app AI, and we bring in where's our search agent? Web researcher. Good. Bring in web researcher, then also bring in JSON response. So that's good. Now inside here, just going to create a function called research, which we're going to use to run our demo. So public function research, take a request. Then from this we return JSON response. And first let us get our question from the user. What question does the user have for us? Question string and maximum of 500 characters. So this is good. Then let us get our question. Get our question and say request input question. Good. Then we run our query through our web researcher. We say new We say new web researcher and prompt it with our question. Then we can simply return the response JSON. Then first let us tag our demo. This is our web researcher for general search. Then the question is the question that the user sent, and then our answer is string response. So that's good. Let me put my semicolon here. Perfect. And we have our controller method. Now let us add a route for our demo. Go back to API, and here I'm just going to come down here and let's copy this. We're going to hit web search or research. Web research. Then we need to bring in our controller, the chapter 3 controller, so we'll just bring it in. And what's the name again? Search controller. So we'll bring in search controller. Put it here, and we call the research method. So that's good. It's a post request, so be aware of that. Let's copy this endpoint, web/research. And now we can head over to Postman to test this out. Now here in Postman, let me bring this down. We'll be testing out the route chapter 3/web/research. We're going to be sending a question payload, And I'm going to ask it about something recent, something very recent. Now, the Super Bowl, the 2026 Super Bowl between the Seattle Seahawks and the New England Patriots was played on Sunday. Just this Sunday, Sunday before this week. Where this is Thursday, it was just played this Sunday with the Seattle Seahawks basically demolishing the New England Patriots. We're going to ask it who won the Super Bowl, because this is a very recent event and the model is definitely not aware of this thing that just happened this Sunday. So let us ask it, who won the 2026 Super Bowl and what was the score? Who won the 2026 Super Bowl and what was the score? Let's hit send. It is literally searching the web. It's literally going to search the web to get us that information, because there's no way it can know it. You see, came back quite fast. So who won the 2026 Super Bowl and what was the score? It says the Seattle Seahawks won the 2026 Super Bowl. That's Super Bowl 60, beating the New England Patriots 29-13. Yeah, the Patriots didn't even score anything till the fourth quarter. Yeah, 29-13 on February 8, 2026. Yep, real-time information. So real-time. So real-time. So yeah, this is how you can search the web in your AI agents. But wait, there's more. You can actually restrict your search to certain domains. You can restrict your search to certain domains and say, I just want you to check these domains. Just only check these domains. For example, let's say we want to convert this web researcher to only do research on Laravel sources. Like we just want to check out Laravel stuff. So all your answers, all your web research should be based on Laravel stuff. So we can restrict it to Laravel domains and other domains that have official Laravel information. We can restrict it to those domains, and we can even tell it the number of results we want it to return back, or rather the maximum number of results we want it to return. So let's do that. Let's go and customize our agent, our web researcher. To do this, first I'm going to wrap this instantiation inside brackets so that we can call methods on it. Then you can call the max method to define the number of results you want. I only want 10 results. I only want 5 results. I only want 7 results. That will also save you in tokens. So we can say we want just 5 results. But what we're here for is restricting to certain domains, kind of like creating a whitelist. And that can be done using the allow method. Allow method takes in an array, and that array is the array of the domains that you want this search surface to be restricted to. So we want to restrict it to official sites like Laravel.com, LaravelNews.com, and probably GitHub. Any good thing you can find on GitHub. Now, you might want to say, oh yeah, let's just do this. Yeah, GitHub, Laravel. This can only take domains. And it's very, very important. This can only take domains. It can't take URL paths. I'm not even sure it can take subdomains. You can try it out, but it can only take domains. So that's very, very important to know. So let us save this. Let's save this. Let's go back to Postman. Now the first thing we'll do, you see, we've restricted the website. Let's ask it again about the Super Bowl. It can currently answer us, but now we've restricted the sites. We've restricted the sites, and there's no way it can find Super Bowl information on the Laravel website. Yeah, I don't know about GitHub, but yeah, there's no way. So let us hit send again and see what we get back. Okay, so it told us I can't answer that under the browsing constraints I've been given. To verify who won the Super Bowl and the score, I need a reliable source, but I'm only allowed to use Laravel.com, Laravel News, or GitHub results. Those domains don't provide an authoritative Super Bowl results page. So we show that our whitelist is working. Now let us ask it something about Laravel, something recent about Laravel. And what can be more recent than the Laravel AI SDK? Laravel AI SDK. So what is the Laravel AI SDK? Shoot. And now we get a result. It said Laravel AI SDK is Laravel's first-party package, that's Laravel/AI, that gives you a single Laravel native API to build AI features across multiple providers instead of writing provider-specific code for each one. Yeah, the lang chain of Laravel. Yeah, so as you can see, because we're now asking a question where the sources we specified are the official domains for that information, it can fetch us something for that. So that's how to use web search.